Welcome, my friends, to the show that never ends. Come inside, come inside. Welcome to the show. It's Dr. Andy Show. He's not Donnie Lowe. And Mrs. Lowe is happy. The end.
Very.
How are you, Dr. Andy? How are you, buddy? Let me ask you. Have you continued to keep on fighting when I'm not with you?
Occasionally I wake up fighting.
It happens. Those night terrors are pretty bad. Is it because you're thinking of me? Maybe.
You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
So I just want everybody to know, as always, all the comments and statements by Eddie Buffalo and Dr. Andy are purely for entertainment purposes. And we've been waiting to do this show. I mentioned it to Andy, and I didn't think he was going to go for it, but he did. So listen to this song, which is
a valid topic.
Loved Her to Death, Andy. Here we go.
I bought the promise in a small glass jar. Thought we could drift just a little too far. She smiled at the change, the rush in the room, but the evening turned to a quiet doom. Now there's a hollow where she used to lie, left me alone with the question why. I reach.
All right, I can't. That was too slow, too boring. And we're talking about sex. We're talking about sex, baby. We're talking about you and me. We're talking about all the good things and the bad things that can be, including, you ready for this, Dr. Andy? Welcome to my friend, Funky Cold Badina. Check it out. Yes, I like it.
Funky Cobadina as I yell, yeah.
Well, just so you know, Dr. Andy, and I figured it'd be, we're talking about sex, so we'll talk about our funky, not Medina, funky. Oh. And I got to tell you, we have an audience today watching the show being taped, and she was dancing around, loving that song, rocking it out, So welcome once again, everybody. Buddy, it's good to see you. Do our handshake like we always do. And
I can reach all the way from Oklahoma.
Oh, that's much better, Andy. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Andy, I'm going to let you do the honors, okay? Talking about our wonderful sponsor, if I can ever get it to work. And you know them. You love them.
I know them.
Hello, America, and all the ships at sea. It is Pins and Aces, pinsанdaces.com for all your balls and stick needs. How's that? Is that good? I don't think that was part of their commercial, but I kind of like it.
I also think they supply a lot of the clothing needed. They make high quality golf clothing.
Yes.
Some's very fashionable, some's quiet, depending on the way you go. And if you put in the code name Buffalo, we can get 21% discount.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I love it that I can't see it yet, and it says I'm sharing it. So let me try one more time before we go. Technical difficulties beyond our control here at EBI Network Family. But we're gonna move on, and what I'll do is I'll put up their thing at the end. But check them out. You've seen. Oh, here it comes now, Andy. Of course. Now that I'm done presenting it, it's trying to show back up again. Check out our friends with pinsandaces.com. Find all the golf stuff you need and put in the promo code Buffalo, and you will get an additional 21% off. Blackjack, baby, blackjack. So this is an interesting conversation we're going to have. And I kind of said it to Andy in jest, but it's something that is really, it's a good and bad problem to have. This generation that's coming up behind us, they're having a hard time with erections because they've had access to the little blue pill for quite a while. And is there a lot of valid, is that a valid statement, Andy? What are you feeling on that as a physician?
Okay. I don't know that it is a valid statement. There's no real statistics out there that say that using it will destroy your normal function. That would be a bit of a reach. And there are declining testosterone levels in
Let me
males
ask
for multiple reasons.
So I'm not a good candidate to take this stuff because I'm on testosterone?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying there are declining levels in testosterone in males over the past decade to 2 decades, which may be part of the problem. But yes, if you're on therapeutic testosterone injections, you can use either Viagra or Cialis or Levitra. So
I got to ask you this. So this isn't 100%, just like no drugs 100%. There's any statistics of how many people this doesn't work for, the little blue pill or something similar? Because the other one, is this a generic, Andy, sildenafil?
Yeah, sildenafil is just a generic for Viagra, and you're just seeing generic names. Typically, when people are having erectile dysfunction, it's a number of different factors. It can be psychological. You can have high blood pressure and circulatory problems. You can have some diabetic input into it with neuropathies. There's a whole lot of different things that can kind of lead to erectile dysfunction. So the little blue pill doesn't work for everybody. It is helpful for many, but it's not a panacea.
What do you think about using it as a recreational drug? Just for shits and giggles?
I wouldn't advocate it. I would just kind of, if everything is working in terms of having an erection, I would just go with what you have.
So let me ask you this. If you're a male with a normal sex drive and you already have healthy erections, what is the pill going to do for you if you just wanted to see what would happen? And I'm sure there's a lot of guys out there that have that question.
Some people have reported that it shortens recovery time between having, relations. Some people have reported that they last longer and their erections are more firm. It's all subjective, Ed.
Is it adding length or girth to the penis when you're doing this, or is it different for everybody?
Neither. Your anatomy is your anatomy. You just feel better and stay filled better, if you want to think of it that way.
That'd be interesting to see, placebo versus actual drug to see how much of it is mental. Because I believe that it is mental.
There's a
Have
lot,
you ever,
there are a lot of psychological factors that go into it. Performance anxiety, stress compounded over time, whatever's going on. There's a ton of psychiatric facilities, factors going on in erectile dysfunction along with the physical.
now taking these pills, does it change your ejaculate? Look how fancy talking I am.
Not that I'm aware of.
Does it turn it blue?
No.
Just call me Papa Smurf, baby.
Yeah, first time I've been asked that one. I thought we were going to talk today about injuries that can occur during consensual relations.
So I gotta tell the story of why we're doing the show and how it came about. My question to Andy, and I'm gonna try to clean this up a little bit. What is how can I say this? Let me think for a second. If you are having sexual relations with someone and you do it to the point where they die, is it considered ecstasy or is it considered murder?
I'm not a lawyer.
But do you
I'm
play
not
one
a
on
lawyer.
TV? Do you play one on TV?
No, I don't. I'm not aware of that being a common phenomenon for a woman to pass on from having normal relations. People who've been injured have passed on, people who were violated with a foreign object and ruptured their, genitalia, had, ruptured bladder, whatever, but that's a bit of a reach.
So what I'm hearing is that it's a challenge to try to kill somebody by having sex.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
No. All the comments and statements by Eddie Buffalo and Dr. Andy are purely for entertainment and a lot of shizzy. So,
Yeah,
my
I think
question.
we ventured into that territory.
I know. So let's talk about two things. You want to talk about, and then we're going to circle around to.
Why don't I talk
erection.
about what can happen to men, what can happen to women?
Yeah,
in
I
terms
want to
of
hear about
injuries.
injuries, and I'm just going to sit here like a good Catholic boy and try not to say anything. Go ahead.
You can say anything you want. With men, the most common injury is when they'll either have their penis bent or fractured. Typically, what
Yes,
happens
guys.
is they'll be, the male will be having relations, woman on top, and there'll be, a snap. There's going to be pain. You lose your erection, and
I would think so. Yeah.
and there's a deformity in the penis itself. It looks kind of eggplanty with big swelling.
I've seen those texts get sent out.
Well, better to see it in a text than to have it. It is something that requires. There, you're going to require surgical intervention. The watch and wait has resulted a lot of men having erectile dysfunction, totally painful erections, penile deformity. Because
That's all.
actually what you're doing is you have those three chambers with blood that run parallel to your urethra, and you've just broken one or more.
Jeez. I can't imagine
disrupted
bruising
your
on
urethra. Yes,
that bruising got to be horrible.
that's why they kind of call it an eggplant deformity.
So let's kind of mash up one of our boxing shows, or actually it was bare knuckle boxing, And we did talk about a gentleman that that did rough and tumble. That, I mean, this guy would bite noses off, bite ears off. But the most horrific thing I've ever heard of any fighter before is he ripped this guy's balls off. What does that do to the functioning of your penis? It's gotta hurt like hell, but does it change the way you're I can't even imagine what that looks like.
Well, moving to more real world things. The other
Why do you
big problem,
world thing? The guy did it.
well, that's more trauma, and it doesn't really involve sex. It involves violence.
Sure. But it's gonna affect how you perform sex, correct?
Oh, certainly you've lost your ability to produce testosterone, and you've lost your ability to make ejaculate. An injury like that, you're at risk of bleeding to death.
Oh my God, that's horrible. That's horrible. Talk about loving you to death, huh?
I don't
Holy
think there's
crap.
any love involved there. One thing that can happen to men during consensual intercourse is they can have either a torsion of a testes, where you turn it on its blood supply, or
So
they
it's
can have
twisted.
yeah, it has to be derotated. Typically, it's done by a urologist in an operating room. There, you've got a window of time between 6 and 18 hours, or the testis itself is going to die from lack of blood supply.
Let me ask you this.
A contusion.
Go ahead.
You can have a contusion of a testicle where you actually get a bruise and like a hematoma, a 3D bruise. Or
That's
you
awful.
can actually rupture a testicle. Again, that requires surgical intervention. Those are the more common things that happen.
Now, if they replace your testicles, if they replace your balls with a synthetic one, which I know they do,
It's
how
just
does
a
that,
little rubber. It's just a little rubber thing, so it feels like a testicle. It doesn't function.
so you're done producing sperm when those are gone, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Because the one thing that really stuck with me from doing all these shows with you, and by the way, do you know what number this is, Andy?
38.
39.
I was
We
close.
should. And ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Andy wanted us to save this episode for 69. So
No.
send out your comment statements to Dr. Andy via ebifamily.org. So we talked about what can happen to a man, but how about a woman, Andy? What kind of trauma are we doing down there?
Okay. Typically, it's going to be because of friction, vigorous movement, rough movement, and typically you can have irritation, you can have microabrasions, tears, lacerations, and you can also have posterior trauma. There, working on the solution side, it usually involves not enough lubricant, too vigorous intercourse, using other objects other than a penis. Those are the usual things that happen. There have been occasionally reported perineal first degree and second degree tears, almost like can happen in childbirth. I've not read of any third degree tears. I'm speaking about strictly vaginal intercourse.
Well, let me ask you this. So, I mean, obviously, when a man has an erection, it's blood going to that area. When a woman is aroused, does blood go to the clitoris or any place else down there?
Yes, it does, but a substantial portion of female arousal is not blood supply. It's all in, the mind of the person having relations. A substantial portion of their arousal is not just lubrication and blood supply. It involves, the thought process.
So let me ask you this. So I read somewhere that some women are actually able to climax just by manipulating their nipples. Is that a true thing or is that a lie?
I've read of it. It's not something I'm an authority about at all. You know, we're kind of outside my area of.
And when you're with a young lady and they're yelling, "Oh God," is that considered prayer or just a statement? Wait, you're looking at your notes.
Uh,
I
I'm
mean, I have
looking
a
at,
good voice, so that's why I want to know, Andy.
um, again, that's a little outside my realm of knowledge.
Oh, maybe they were talking. They might love that George Burns movie. Oh God. Oh, and then oh God, you devil. You know. Don't you wish you were sitting right next to me, Andy?
Uh, I don't miss the hand on my leg, but
Oh yes, you do. Don't lie, you tease.
another
I,
common
I do
area of injury are foreign bodies.
I do have a question, and this is a for real question. Okay.
Sure.
So after having intercourse, they always tell women to urinate afterwards, and a lot of times men too. Now, is it true the longer it takes you to climax as a man, that pre-cum or post-cum is actually thicker, and you might actually have a hard time urinating?
No, the reason that usually we'll chat about women going, having urine after, intercourse is some people will, with very vigorous intercourse, actually get bacteria pushed in through their sphincter into the bladder. And if urinate before, so you have an empty bladder, and urinate afterwards, it cuts down the number of urinary tract infections reportedly. It's not been statistically validated.
Now, is there any information out there, Andy, for pro or con on circumcision? Because I actually read the other day, and I found this hard to believe that uncircumcised males can actually be more prevalent to have UTIs. I didn't even think guys got UTIs.
It's possible, especially in children, to have more problems with urinary tract infections if they have a dysfunctional foreskin. And if the person has a functioning foreskin, it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, circumcised versus uncircumcised, as long as the person practices reasonably, conscientious hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Now,
men can get yeast infections between their foreskin
really?
and around their penis. Yes, it's
So
called
that's more like
balantitis.
talking about that, correct?
Yeah, that's more what they mean. They don't mean urinary tract infections like in the bladder and in the kidneys. They
Okay,
mean
so
balantitis around the external part of the penis.
okay, you know that I like doing my scenarios. Okay, my name is Bronislaw Jezerowski. I'm a good Polish fella from the east side of Buffalo, New York. And I started dating this young lady named Helga. She's a big girl, big girl. And she is on top. And holy crap, I think I broke my penis. What do you do first besides scream?
Get yourself pulled together and get yourself to the emergency room.
Has there ever been a situation where the sex is so aggressive that someone's penis got ripped off? And I'm not talking Lorena Bobbitt, you know what I mean? But is it possible to lose your member inside of your partner? Poor Andy.
Forward.
If you need to do research on that, Andy, I think we should do a sex show every week. What do you think about that?
I'm going on vacation and my partner will stand in.
Okay, is that person going to be a male or female? Just so I can be ready. I got to, be a good boy.
It's my neutered house cat.
Oh, I'm allergic. You know I can't be around her. What's wrong with you?
You get my point.
I was worried about, actually dying during sex, and now Andy's trying to kill me with his cat. Could you call it death? Andy, the technical term of that, is that technically death by pussy? There's no answer. Are you thinking about it? Are you thinking hard? Or are you praying? Are you saying, "Oh God, I can't wait till this is over"?
I'm just thinking.
I'm thinking, very good. I love how the wind's just blowing your hair. You
I'm
look
sitting
like a
near the air
surfer guy.
conditioner.
I like it. It's pretty sexy, Andy. Don't get me all excited on the air. I don't want that to happen again.
We're a safe. I'm glad we're a safe distance apart.
Hey, never say never. Never say never. So we're trying to have a little bit of fun with this, folks, but it's a very serious thing. I mean, if you injure yourself during sex, whether it's there's abrasions on your penis, if you're actually bending your penis, or God forbid, is there a lot of incidents of people getting cardiac arrest because of strenuous sex? It's got to be.
It does happen. A very famous person who at one time was briefly the vice president of the United States died in his office reportedly of that.
Oh my God, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Give you a hint. Think the Ford administration, the very brief Ford administration.
Who is that? I can see his face. I can't remember his name though. Shit.
I don't want to slander the person. However,
You guys
do
can
your
figure it
homework.
out. Pretty smart. Our viewers are pretty damn smart, so I'm sure they're gonna figure that out.
The
So
final
I'm
thing with
gonna
trauma,
say we only have a few more minutes, so how are we gonna wrap this up, Andy?
foreign bodies. A lot of times people come to the emergency room where they've placed objects in empty cavities and have had problems with it.
And
Typically-
I want to piggyback on that for 1 second, because I was a phlebotomist for many years, and I went into pathology, and I don't care what hospital it is, because the few hospitals that are in, each of them had a wall of shame. There was a lot of Barbie heads. The one that I could never understand is light bulbs and how they did not break inside that person.
Yeah, they're a common problem for, I think it's the shape I think the shape is taken on as a challenge. In all
So if you
seriousness,
put a smart bulb inside you, can you use your Google Home to turn it on and off? And what color would you prefer, Andy?
you can always figure that one out empirically. The three recommendations they make: avoid rigid objects because they're more likely to perforate people's colons. The second thing is keep in mind objects that vibrate migrate.
Expand on that, Andy. Tell us what you're actually saying about that. Because I don't know much about sex. So I need to hear this.
Some people put a vibrating object in an empty cavity and discover that the object, when it vibrates, is going to move and it will tend to migrate to areas that they didn't expect.
That's awful.
It becomes out of reach.
That is crazy. That really is. Now, what
Final
about
thing they suggest is if there's a problem, get early evaluation.
now? Some people like exploring with food in their sexual encounter. Some people like cake. Some people I've heard even use yellow cling peaches because they're slippery. What are the dangers of that for the woman? It's got to be crazy infection, don't you think?
Uh, laceration, abrasion.
Even if it's something soft like that.
Well, if you put something that exceeds the ability of an area to stretch, you put too much into too little as far as the container goes,
Yeah.
you're either going to lacerate, you're going to rupture. It's not a great idea.
Well, believe it or not, folks, we are at the end of our show. We tried to have a
Thank
little bit of fun with
goodness.
you, but let's be serious for a second. If you're in trouble, and no matter what's happening, and even like, oh, I don't want to let her know that I'm hurt, you need to get medical treatment right away. Because I like everybody says, I would rather be safe than sorry. So I want to thank you, Andy, for handling a tough subject with a little bit of decorum, and we had a little fun with it too, But I'm going to end the show like I end every other show. If you like working with people that are just like you, have the same values you have the same passion for life, and love your children as much as we do ours, we are definitely the people to reach out to. And you can reach us at ebifamily.org. You can also email us. Let's have them email Donnie Lowe about the sex show. Email Donnie Lowe at ebifamily.org. And you can also call our hotline, which is 903-412-1554. And for our friends in Lithuania, the number is 903-412-1554. I don't think they can hear me, so because they're far. So we're going to end the show like we end every other show. Life is definitely worth living. Enjoy yourself. But remember one important thing. What do you got to do, Andy?
Just keep fighting.
Just keep on fighting. And tune in tomorrow for EBT. I forget what EBT. I'm having a brain fart. So EBT, all original music all the time. And then tune in Saturday for Late Night with Eddie Buffalo. And you'll see me and this guy too. And it's got a very interesting Southern vibe to it. Can we say that by teasing it a little bit, Andy?
Yeah, it's a very interesting show. It deals with a tragedy that has become somewhat controversial over time.
Yes. So thank you again, and we're out of here. Take care, Andy. You take care of yourself, buddy. Thank you.
Oh,
Poor Andy. Poor Andy. Some people go to purgatory when they die. Your purgatory is here working with me, Andy. So you're welcome. The knowing eye. Have a good day, everyone.